Hi guys, you're gonna have to put up with the glare. I don't have Miguel here, and I told you guys I would do the cranberry sauce. You're gonna see me coming in and out, and I'm going to do two of them. I'm gonna do one that's a cranberry raspberry with just sugar and water, and I'm doing another one that's going to have sugar, water, cranberries, raspberries, and vanilla. I'm trying these two new recipes this year because I've been playing with it. I've been always liked to add raspberries in, but it's never really congealed. So I thought I would see what we could do with these two new recipes. And I still have a backup. If I don't like these, I can do the one I normally do. But anyway, the first one is 2 cups of cranberries and a cup of raspberries and water and a cup of sugar. And they want you to throw it all in together at one time. I'm old school and I don't think that that's a cool thing to do. So what I'm gonna do is add a cup of water. And yes, I'm still over here. And I'm gonna turn on the heat. And I'm going to add a cup of sugar to it. And let the sugar dissolve into the water. That's the one that doesn't have any vanilla in it. Now maybe the 2 cups of cranberries and the cup of raspberries probably help it like congeal. I don't know, but I'm gonna dump. The sugar's starting to dissolve a little bit, so I'm dumping in the raspberries. And it might be a little more than it should because I just dumped the whole pint in. And then I'm going to do the 2 cups of cranberries. Yes, I'm still over here. And these are whole cranberries. Usually I put the whole package in there, but they're saying 2 cups, so I'm going to try to do what they say because, again, I'm trying to make this stuff congeal, and I haven't had it do that very well before since I've started adding raspberries to it. So we got this one going, and then the next one tells me to do, ooh, squeak squeak, tells me to do 1 3/4 cup, or 1 1/3, I'm sorry, 1 1/3 cups of water. And it tells me to put in, that was 1 1/3 cups of sugar. I can't read, guys. So that was 1 1/3 cups of sugar and 1 cup of water. So I poured out a third of the cup, turning on the heat, and I am going to add 1 1/3 cups of sugar. So this is 1. So dump that in there, and then a third. Now this is a left-handed cup. And we just dump the third in there. Now in this one they tell you to bring it to a high boil and to get it to dissolve in there, unlike the other one where it was like you throw everything in there and you go for it. So this one we're trying to get it to dissolve. The other one I let it go almost dissolve. Now I've never done this because we usually don't have that much in leftovers, but I'm making 2 batches, which I sometimes make 2 batches anyway, but I'm making 2 different batches, possibly a third if this doesn't work out. And hi guys. Hi Jan and hi Kathleen. You're watching me do experiment with raspberry cranberries. Now they're telling me to put 3 cups of cranberries whole and uncooked, which is pretty much a bag. I have a little bit left over from the other bag. And I'm dumping them into, you can't see me. Did I scare you when I popped back in? But I'm over here at the sink And in order to not just make everything weird, I'm just going to do this where you can't really see it. It's magic stuff. I'm actually going to add just a few more cranberries into this other one. But I'm going to dump this whole colander of cranberries in here once the sugar is dissolved, and we're almost there. And then I'm going to put 1 pint of raspberries in there. And can you hear them? They're starting to pop. This other one says that I'm supposed to tells me for about 5 minutes, but it hasn't started boiling. So when it starts boiling, I'll figure out. I guess I'll turn the timer on. I don't know. You guys are watching me like flounder with my cooking utensils and stuff because I don't do it a whole lot, as you can tell. I like cooking big meals. I don't like cooking little meals. It tells you to put the cranberries and the raspberries in after it starts boiling. And this hasn't started boiling yet. That's how my old recipe was. This one was like you dumped everything together, then you bring it to a boil and let it go for 5 minutes. The cranberries are splitting. What I like to do, oh, you're gonna go find your headset, Betsy? I don't know if it's my phone here. You see my hands? I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. I don't know if that's a problem or not, but I'll try to talk louder. I usually, the cranberries will start splitting and the raspberries will start falling apart. All right, this has started boiling. It's not a high boil yet. So by the time I stir this one over here just a little more, because this one hasn't even started boiling yet, but if you can hear the pops, that's the cranberries splitting. This one hasn't started boiling. We're waiting for the boil. See, I can use both hands. So I'm letting this one go. I'm going to turn the timer on in a few minutes for this one. The other one is still at a slow boil. It's only boiling on the edges. It's not doing a rapid boil. I'm going to let it go just a little bit longer on the boil. The one with the cranberries, the raspberries with no vanilla, it's just barely starting to boil. All right, the other one is, we've got a good boil going on. So I just dropped in all the raspberries. I see one that's not that good, so we're taking him out. The rest are fine. Actually, no, I lied, there's one more. Supposedly this can last up to a month in the refrigerator. I've never tried that before, but we'll see. My sink is starting to drip. I don't need any dripping sinks for the holidays. I think it was about this time last year. Just put the flame out. I had to replace the sink. That was fun. Okay, this has started to boil. And it tells you to let it boil for about 5 minutes. So we're going to do timer. We're getting there, guys. It's really ridiculous. You can't just put the numbers in. And you got to be careful if you don't want to. That's why I have a apron on, because when these things pop, they spit out. Dip, you heard that pop? So the timer's on. The popping is the cranberry splitting from the heat, and it can spit out red sauce. This one's getting really, it's like almost boiling over, so I'm turning it down a little bit. is not really working here. As you guys can tell, I don't know how to do this. The other one is boiling pretty fine, so that's doing good. We have about 4 more minutes left on that. I'm not gonna make you guys watch, I don't guess the whole 4 minutes. Probably come back on. See, I can't even do this. We'll see if that works. Yep, that one's working. Turning this one down. It's still boiling at a low, but then I'm also cooking on gas. It quit boiling a little bit, so I'm going to turn it up some. This one's not boiling as much as the other one. And let's see. The other one wants you to put it in a strainer and pour the sauce into the strainer and catch the berries. Use a whisk to mash the berries to desired consistency and then put them back in the sauce. You could do that. Maybe that's what makes it congeal. But I also like to squish them against the side of the pan and make them pop. What I could do is I can do that so some of the insides of the cranberries come out, and that will hopefully help it congeal some. But I'm also going to possibly strain it and then dump it back in there. This other one is almost done. Tells you to remove it from the heat and scrape it into a heat-proof bowl, and then you let it cool. And you can store it up to a month. So we're going to see if this will last for a month. That's interesting. I'm hoping it'll last till next week, though I do have the one more. The raspberries are the only thing, but I got a good deal on them, so I bought them ahead of time. I do have one more bag of cranberries, which I might buy another one. But again, I'll put these up here. But the one, I'm trying 2 different ones, because I usually do this and it doesn't congeal, but we're trying one that's fresh raspberry cranberry sauce, and all it was 2 cups of cranberries, cup of raspberries, 1 cup of water, and 1 cup of sugar. That's the one that's all the way over on the far side. You cook it for 5 minutes. They tell you to dump everything over and bring it into a boil. Usually when I cook with sugar and water, I like to make the sugar water work first and then put my items in. On this one, I semi-followed the instructions because I'm not sure if that's essential to making it congeal. I just put the sugar and the water together and let it go to a minimum boil and let the sugar hadn't totally dissolved, and then I threw in my cranberries and my raspberries. And this one looks like it may congeal more, because usually when I've been using my old recipe, it looks like it's a little watery than this one is. So we might have hit the jackpot here. This one's only got a minute left, less than a minute. This one they have you cook it longer. So it's got a few more minutes. I had you cook it for 10 minutes, which we're almost there, because this one was 5 and this one had started. And I'm squishing the berries and the cranberries to the side of the pan. This one I didn't really have to squish them. They seem to be mixing up very well. Maybe that's the hint in putting them all in together at one time. I don't know. I'm not a cook scientist. I don't know what you would call them. You guys might know what they are. This is really looking good, and it is done. It's good. The timer's gonna go off in a minute. See, there it went. Okay guys, I'm gonna let you see what this looks like. This is the one that's just the raspberries and the cranberries and the sugar. There's not going to be any extract in that one. And I'm going to, 1, turn that off, well, hopefully turn it off. And I'm pouring it, I'm gonna do it over the sink so we don't have any messes. I do know that one of the things with congealing, I know you can't see me, I hope you can hear me talking, is that it sits out and cools before you put it into the refrigerator. And after I leave you guys, I'm going to put it on like a cooling rack, like you would put cookies or some type of baking. Now this guy has totally started really bubbling up. He wasn't bubbling up before. I'm gonna give it 4 minutes. And this one, excuse me, you guys aren't eating it, so I touched my hair and did a horrible thing. I'm putting the empty stuff over here to dump out into the trash can. Now, I'm a firm believer in just dumping vanilla in. I never ever, I learned that from my grandmother because we're a vanilla loving family. Oh, I just dropped that on the floor, hold on. We love vanilla. It does evaporate, but we never really measure it. I mean, we don't pour the whole bottle in, but we always just dump vanilla in or dump almost any extract in. So, and you always add, like when you're making your whipped cream, which I probably will show you guys that too, because we don't ever eat canned whipped cream. We make ours. This guy is not congealing as much as the other one, but then again, I haven't poured it through a strainer. I am mushing the berries. I am gonna pull it, let's see, does it say a strainer? Yeah, it says strainer. Let me see if I've got one over here. And all I have is a colander, I think. I think I had to get rid of my strainer. I do have this magical steamer. This will probably work because we can put that in there. And I can mush the berries and then turn it over. And we'll see if that helps. And we're almost done with this one too. When did I tell you to put the... You add, after we strain it, we're gonna add the vanilla. So we're almost done. And then what I'll do is just tell you guys after they've gone in the refrigerator which one congealed better or which one tastes better. I think the big key is I double my recipe and I doubled almost everything. And this one didn't do that. It kept the same amount of water and sugar, but added cranberry and raspberry. So it may not be as sweet as I would like it. But my big deal this year was trying to make it congeal, because that's been a thing. But we've been eating cranberry raspberry sauce forever. And I can't, gosh, it's been 30 years plus since I've even eaten canned cranberry sauce. So this one is done. So we turn it off. This one I'm going to pour in front of you guys. So let's just pray it doesn't go everywhere. And now I'm going to take my handy dandy spoon and try to mush it through the holes in the strainer. And it looks like I condensed it quite a bit, and it's this one is a lot more, because I was squishing it in the pan. I can't talk right, sorry guys. This one is a lot more solid looking than the first batch that we just took out. Let me get the pan so we don't drip cranberry all over. It really tastes good. Put that in there. Now we're going to add in We did get a little on the counter. Now we're gonna add in the vanilla. I always use real vanilla. I'm on one group and they said don't look up how they make imitation vanilla, and I don't know if it's imitation vanilla that you smell or that you eat, because it's pretty disgusting. So don't look it up unless you're willing to realize if it's the kind that you eat. You're eating stuff you probably wouldn't want to. But I'm adding a little more vanilla. Ooh, it smells good. And I'm stirring it all up. And again, this one with the vanilla is 1 1/3 cup sugar, 1 cup of water, 3 cups of cranberries, 1 cup of raspberries, and it says a teaspoon. Good Lord, you couldn't, teaspoon of vanilla is like, that should be against the law. This recipe tells you to put the sugar and the water together and you bring it to a boil, and you add the cranberries and raspberries and you return it to a boil. Then you turn the heat down to medium so it's a low boil and you cook it for 10 minutes. Then you strain it over a large bowl, which we sort of did that. I squished the berries while it was cooking, so that did a lot of what they're trying to get you to do with the strainer. And then you're supposed to use a whisk. Use a spoon if you're gonna mash it up. And then you put it back in the sauce, which I barely had any liquid, I guess is what they're trying to call as the sauce. Then you stir in the extract, and they said to cover it with aluminum foil, but I'm not going to, because if you cover it, then it's going to have condensation, which I think is going to make it a little liquidy. I think it should cool open. I always cool my stuff open, so I'm going to be a rebel and not do that. And then you're supposed to put it in containers, but I'm going to leave it in this container and go in the refrigerator. But I'm going to, there's not a huge difference in how they look, but I'll pick this up and show you guys. See if you can see. This is the one that has the vanilla in it, and as you can see, it's a little runnier looking than this next one I'm going to show you, and there's less of it because there was less water, but this one looks more congealed already. And that one is the one that is just 2 cups, but I added a few more cranberries than you should, and 1 cup of raspberries, 1 cup of water, and 1 cup of sugar. And you're supposed to put it all in together at one time, but I put the water and the sugar in and made the sugar slightly start disappearing as it heated up, and then I poured everything else in there. And as it tells you, the other one doesn't, but this one does, and it should, that the cranberries will burst, and that's the popping. That's why you should wear an apron or watch what you're doing, because you'll get little red dots everywhere if you don't. But anyway, I will try to put these up probably tomorrow. I'm not sure. I've got some things I got to do, but I had a quiet moment. Miguel and everybody is in here to help me, so you guys just had me. But that's the cranberry raspberry sauces, and those are new ones for me. So I'll tell you which one tastes better, and you'll have the recipes up, and you guys have a great Saturday. I think I will start the pumpkin pies, probably not tomorrow. I think there's something I have to do in the morning that might keep me busy, but pumpkin pies maybe on Monday or Tuesday, and I have to go to the grocery store to finish up my shopping. So you guys have a great weekend, and I will be seeing you again. Always have something up my sleeve. Bye, guys.